episode 3 of What the Deal, Ron. We got two special guests in the house tonight. You know, one guest that was here last week, Smoothie on. What's the deal, Smooth?
What's up? What's happening?
And our other special guest is L Hunter, up and coming R&B sensation. You know.
How y'all doing?
Also, Ron couldn't make it tonight, so he's on the phone with us. What's the deal, Ron?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Ron?
What's good,
What's
Ron?
up, Smooth?
What the deal, Ron?
So unfortunately, Ron couldn't make it today. You know, he had to go handle some other business, but you know, we was lucky enough to get one of our guests from last week and a first-time guest on the show, Mr. Hunter. You know, so
Happy to be here as well.
the show is called What's the Deal, where we talk about and ask questions about current events and topics and from the urban community and our perspectives and how it affects our lives and many other people around us. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the police brutality issue, right?
Oh, yes.
So, we all know that there's been a lot of shootings of black people in multiple states. Now, Smooth, how does this look on in society? Are we kind of headed backwards, or is this just a distraction?
To me, it's a little bit of both. It's a distraction to keep your eyes off the main ball of what's really happening, and basically it's like it's almost like Stone Age. We're traveling backwards where they're almost like persecuting, you know, people for living, you know, and it's crazy, and it seems like it's all on black people, you know,
Right.
Majority of it,
Right.
you know.
Now, Hunter, what's your view on it?
Well, I think it all has to do with, you know, people's perception. You know, people of color have always been perceived as, you know, in a negative light because of a handful of people. You know, anytime you watch the news, you'll have people claim the only criminals they see on TV are people of color. You know, and they take that as a reason on why, you know, we're treated that way because we treat ourselves that way. That's their excuse, when that's not the full story of what's really going on.
Right, so we basically being stereotyped.
We're being stereotyped.
Now, I went to my son's school the other day. Picked him up from school. It was an Asian lady. Now, when I walked in, my son was playing with her child, and everything was pretty much normal until she kind of turned back and seen who I was. I mean, my son is dark skinned, but I was dressed like normal. But when she seen me, it kind of like threw her off. And you know, all of a sudden it went from, oh well, these kids are playing together, to, oh well, maybe I gotta protect and shield because his father looks a certain type of way, and it's not something that I'm trying to project. I'm just dressed normal to go pick my son up.
She just assumed.
Just assumed. So you know, the racial issue goes way beyond just Caucasian white people. Because recently, a month ago, I seen a post from an Indian woman.
Right.
And she says she made a public address in a message on Facebook saying that she apologized to African American people and she didn't really know us until she actually was with one of us.
Right.
And a part of this was a sexual relationship. So she apologized. It was a general apology to everybody, like all our whole race.
That's deep.
Which, you know, I don't want to go and say it was because of the sex that she was having with a black dude.
Right.
But she did say in the message that she was treated better with this guy than she ever been treated. Which is a good thing, and I'm glad she acknowledged that, you know.
Right.
And she also mentioned that it was a stereotype and it was portrayed and told to her by her family.
Of course.
So, what's the deal on that, gentlemen?
Whoa, I get, wow.
I'll let you go first.
Okay. All right.
I see.
Got it.
What's the deal, Ron? You can go first.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, she evidently liked what, you know, having sex with him, and I guess she feels, you know, can't go back, wait, see. Once you go
Once you
black,
go black,
you go back, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it like that before.
Right, but she also acknowledged that her parents betrayed, they tried to shield her from a certain race of people.
Yeah.
Which until she became an adult or a young woman and been around other groups of people, she finally realized that everything that her parents had told her or tried to shield her from wasn't the truth.
Yeah.
So what's the deal on that? Now we want to hear from Smooth and Hunter about this issue.
Well, I see that it's a misconception, you know, on the parents' part and misguiding her and deceiving her, you know, because if that's the case, we could he could have said the same thing about her. Well, all Asian people are bad, or not good, or not good people.
Right, but this girl was Indian.
Oh, excuse me, she was Indian. I apologize, but he could have said the same thing, that all Indian people is no good. You know, he could have been like, well, look, you know, back in the days, you know, Indian people used to run around with scalpels and chopping people's heads off. You know, I'm not feeling that. You know, but it's just how a person was raised. That's one. You know, and then not only that, you have people that can really, you know, put a negative stitch
on a person. So
you know?
we glad that she turned around.
Yeah.
And what's your thoughts on that, Hunter?
Oh, just basically, I'm just reiterating on what he just said. It has to do with generations. You know, back in the day, people had a negative light of other cultures.
Yeah.
Always, because you fear what you don't understand.
Right, but it seems like we are the most pointed to with people fearing. Like,
yeah, it's true.
Everybody knows that it's different groups and ethnicities all around the world, but the main person who's the boogeyman is African American people.
Right.
Yes.
But may I also say this? Not only are we feared, we have that stereotype of we're gangsters, we're drug dealers, and this, that, and the third. We are also emulated by the same other
people that's supposed to fear us.
They're supposed to fear us.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
They want to speak like us. They take our slang.
Right.
You know, sing like us, rap like us.
Right.
And guess what? The whole thing with the Facebook post with the girl that's everybody doing the challenge with the lip thing. Now, I recently heard something that says a black woman came out on a tweet and says, we've been criticized for having full lips for years, which is black females, black women.
That's true.
And now all of a sudden, because a Caucasian/white woman does it, that's famous, and now all of a sudden it's a cool thing to do. So it seems like more shit from us is getting stolen, and we don't reap the rewards or the financial gain from it.
It's been like that for centuries.
Because it can be me, you, Ron. We can do one of these stunts, and we are less likely to get the response or the I guess I call them wildfires.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, which die off eventually.
Right.
but we can't get that type of response, and a lot of our messages, especially from us, are positive.
Of course.
So when somebody does something like this, and all of a sudden now you want to make it seem like it's popular, but our women have been criticized for it for many different reasons, and looked at as being funny or whatever the case may be, and it's popular.
Right.
So
Well,
is it right or wrong?
It's wrong.
totally wrong.
Definitely wrong.
That's almost similar back in the days where they used to put the plates in the African back in Africa, they used to take the plates and put them in their mouth to make their lips bleeder. Bigger.
Yeah.
and then later on, I'm not the only one that's seen this. Later on, that was a part of the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like, black person, big lips.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Black person, coarse hair.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? Not every black person have big lips. Not every black person have coarse hair.
Mm-hmm.
Every black person is not black
Mm-hmm.
skinned. You have light skinned blacks.
Right, you got different pigmentation.
different shades of blacks. So, people is just stereotype, and and then there's prejudice within inside black communities and black people.
Oh yeah, we know that.
Yeah, it's self-hate.
Self-hate.
So
yeah.
now another question is the job thing is always gonna come up because it's harder and harder for us to do basic things. So what do you feel? Do you think that more people need to stand up for this and address it? Because as you know, it costs more to go shopping, which is buy the basics like food and everything like that. So,
of course,
real brief. What's the deal on this situation? And the jobs and another part of the question is, it's becoming harder and harder, but the government is telling us easy to get jobs, but it's easy if you want a low-paying job. So what's the deal with this?
Well, I'll take this one. Well, basically, when it comes down to, you can get any job, when it comes down to like a low-paying job. Maintenance, housekeeping, fast food restaurants, and stuff like that. But what is the point of going to college, finishing school to have a certain, degree in something, and you can't use it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's right.
You're paying off loans, for college, and you can't even pay for your rent.
Right. So basically, when you go into college, because I'm a college student myself, and you basically they putting you in the hole before you even have a chance.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
And we know the student loan debt is way over $1 trillion.
Right.
Now, what's the deal with that? And we already know that. How's that money going to be generated? If people are making $7, $8, $9, whatever, even if it's 15, everybody that's on that list, think about it. $1 trillion is 1,000 billion dollars. Nobody, it's not guaranteed for people to pay the money back. Everybody every month.
It's true.
The jobs is out here. They done took most of them.
Yeah.
We struggling to do basic things and get basic needs. But like we talked about earlier before we went live, is when you price people out, you can't expect to make a profit, because eventually you killing your what's the term that they use for it? Your host.
Right.
If you're a parasites feed off their host.
Right.
So corporations and all of these people, they killing their host.
Right.
Yeah.
And to be real logical about the situation, wouldn't you want people to get more money so they can spend more to buy your products and services? Anybody got a response to that?
Well,
Would it make sense to give you more money so you can spend more and do more things?
Yeah, it would.
The price
It would.
going up.
Because a lot of people that's gonna so like the minimum wage, for example, if it goes up to 10, most of those people are gonna go spend it back at McDonald's, and you know, remember that Dave Chappelle skit where they gave everyone reparations?
Right. Well, we don't endorse McDonald's because we talked about them last week, and they probably gonna hate us for it. You know?
But remember that last week, the Dave Chappelle skit, and everyone brought the money back? I mean, it's gonna come back anyway. I don't know why they don't want to hire the money. That's just ridiculous.
Right.
It's gonna come back to them anyway. Things people buy, the consumerism. Think about it.
Of course.
Now, we're gonna switch it up because what we trying to do with the show, we trying to diversify it too. So you know, we gonna hit on topics every week, and if we miss some, we're gonna set up a Twitter and a Facebook account. Whatever we miss, or anybody wanna ask questions, they can chime in on it.
Ask what the deal.
And that's what the deal.
What's the deal?
You know, so we're gonna switch over to the music aspect.
Yeah.
What do you think is missing from hip hop and R&B? As far as what direction is it going? Because we spoke briefly on it, and it's looking real bad for the hip hop community, and things are going on, and people, you can make money, but you know, when the game is saturated and there's a lot of bad music out, there's a lot of good music, and a lot of it get overlooked. So, what can you advise or even say that what's the problem with it?
It's,
Anybody could take the question.
Yeah, I can take this one.
Can I take it first?
Yeah, go right ahead. Be my guest.
Yeah, me personally, hip hop, I personally think that what's missing, they're forgetting the older people. You know, the true essence of hip hop. Like, for example, KRS-One. No one, I'm not saying rap like him, but you can learn from him.
Right.
Learn what he rapped about.
Right.
Learn how he rapped.
Right, but the generation today doesn't.
They don't respect it.
They on not only don't respect it, they on another. It's an evolution of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's less skilled now.
No.
So anybody could jump in and take the question of where do you think it's going?
Oh God, the garbage.
It's in a strange direction, if you ask me.
Well, I mean, basically, it's just they're trying to upgrade things, you know, without really, you know, taking the good stuff that was in the old stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, this is not the century of the songwriter, you know, when it comes down to hip hop. It may be for R&B or pop music.
Right.
Because you have a lot of more great artists in that genre than you have in the hip hop area.
Right, but you know,
I thought you know.
we know that, but when R&B is sound like hip hop, like
they sound like they're trying to rap.
What Chris Brown is doing, and like somebody like I like Trey Songz, but
I do too. But
he kind of went left a little bit, and not to say that the music is not great, but it's not R&B like say for example, a good one would be R. Kelly to a degree. He can shift his whole thing. Now I haven't heard the album yet, so I can't be too criticism of him. You know, I can't really. No, I'm talking about somebody like Trey Songz.
Yeah.
I can't be too judgmental because I haven't listened to the whole album. But what they put out as so to speak hits, it's not really R&B. It's more driven towards the hip hop.
Right.
Or urban. Now, not even urban because you know it's black music.
Right.
But it doesn't sound. It sounds like something else. So. Maybe this needs to be placed in a separate category. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, on that, when it comes down to what he's trying to do, I guess, is to appeal to that younger audience. So with the younger audience, what do they usually listen to? Hip hop. You know, anything that sounds close to that, you know, is going to sell. So that's pretty much what he I guess he decides, you know, wants to put out. You know, either that or what they would call panty dropper music.
Right.
You know,
Right.
which basically, you know, slow jams and stuff like that.
/ club.
Yeah.
Because you know that's how you get the ladies to get in the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that, you know, I guess where that sound is going to. I wouldn't exactly. You were right. I wouldn't exactly call it R&B. It's. I'm not even exactly sure what, you know, what genre you put that in. You know, it's like a slash this slash that slash. You know,
like they're trying to do a mixture of stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
which like, there's nothing wrong with, you know.
With it.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, it's actually like you, like have it, like it's like you chancing certain things when you.
I think it's similar to like the pop music where they call it crossover.
Right. This is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah.
You know,
that's basically what it is.
It's a crossover.
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
I mean, if you think about it, looking back in the days when they had your boy Run DMC and that what was the name of that rock group? Was it
Aerosmith?
Aerosmith.
Yeah.
They came
that was one of the first crossovers.
Yeah, that was
right.
the
hip hop.
That was the first crossover.
Yeah.
Right.
Rock. Walk This Way.
Walk This Way.
Walk This Way. That was a hit. It was a hit, and it did good. That was one of the best, biggest crossovers they ever did, and at that time.
Right. So you know, we definitely acknowledge, because we are older group, but we respect the young stuff that's coming out. But
absolutely,
can y'all please kind of? We love y'all, we feel y'all, but make the words make a little bit more goddamn sense. You know what I mean? We want to hear something good because we know y'all got it in y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
well, you know what it is.
We gonna get y'all later because we gonna have to show some examples.
Yeah.
Of
definitely.
Some real good music. You know.
It's definitely the youngsters is coming out with this music, but see, you know what it is. It has to deal with the lyrics. They're coming out, they're revolutionizing the lyrics. The lyrics with the new slang. Remember, everything was dope.
Well, I wouldn't call it a revolution, but I would call it like a lot of people compare it to ignorance. So you know, it's hard to try to say it's revolutionary when you can't understand it. You know, if it was like a foreign language or that we didn't know, then maybe that might be considered a revolution or evolution. But when you got the dumbed down shit, you know, it's kind of hard to call it evolution. And I know where you're going, but
the reason why, well, think about it. The reason why I call it revolution, you got to look at it. They switching up the slang.
Right.
That's a break. If you switch up the slang, you taking a chance at either gaining audience or losing some audiences.
Right. But it's not completely a bad thing, because maybe
not at all.
The state won't know what we talking about.
Yeah.
Because you know we be monitored 24/7.
Yeah.
And that's a real thing.
Well, look at your boy Bobby Shmurda. Not to go off the subject.
Right.
He came out with the, you know, he was just good.
Another thing too, we talked a little bit before we went on air about the Boston situation.
Right.
Now,
I remember.
You know, off the top I can't remember the gentleman's name, but his, from the video that we seen, his body was kind of like broken up.
Right.
And
his last name was Gray.
Gray, Boston. Not only that happened in Boston, but another thing that got ignored was they was cutting people water off in Boston like Detroit.
Right, Detroit.
You know, it kind of fell through the cracks with the incident with the guy.
Yeah.
So that's not off the table, but we gonna mention it here.
Right.
Yeah.
That, you know, they are cutting niggas' waters off.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is, so.
It is.
It's a dangerous time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is a dangerous time.
It's definitely dangerous.
It is.
You just
Yeah,
gotta be careful.
I know we gonna switch up the show, diversify it the best way we can. We're gonna bring y'all stuff, different people, you know, more things, music videos. Smooth. We heard a couple of your songs on the last video, which will be up soon.
Yeah.
One of them are called Next Level.
Absolutely.
Another one called Blocks.
Yes.
You're doing great things, brother.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. I appreciate it.
we gonna do a video clip with you with the actual video. And we'll get to that, you know, probably a week or two down the road. What do you feel about multiple people having access to produce music, but they're not willing to get knowledge? And this goes, anybody can answer the question. So this was also mentioned too about people having the access to the equipment but not really understanding how to use it. So this has to do with saturating in the game. And it's becoming a big problem where nobody wants to pay attention to our craft like that anymore unless you still may be considered mainstream, which is
Right.
so. Do you think people are really messing it up for other people, or you just got to be good enough to break through all the nonsense? Anybody can answer this.
Well, honestly, I think you just have to be good enough. You know, do your homework. Actually know what you're working with. If you're gonna take the effort to buy the equipment, know exactly what it does. You know, basically, just be good at what you're doing.
Right.
You know, just really put out quality tracks, quality vocals, whatever you're doing with that equipment.
And not only that, the best thing to do if you trying to get into that particular field is to pre-learn what you're doing.
Right.
Always.
You always
learn.
pre-learn what you're doing, because when you actually putting out stuff and you're working on actual music and different type of compositions, you want to make sure that, you know, what you're putting out is not only good, but it's pleasing to the ear when somebody listening to it.
Right.
That's right.
And we're gonna mention here today that the two gentlemen that's sitting here, Mr. Hunter, Mr. Smooth, one is a professional keyboard player, and we will start the classes and the lectures on that. And you know, we will have some free ones and we will have some paid ones. The other gentleman, Mr. Hunter, is a specialist in vocals, and we will have classes and segments on that from our side, and we will have free classes and paid more advanced classes on both of the subjects. So
Absolutely.
if you're looking to learn or be a better keyboard player or a vocalist, we will be producing the lessons for them.
Absolutely.
So
Definitely.
we're gonna build the website to get that going. So the basic classes will be either here or on another show, or we'll have a special segment for it on our channel.
Absolutely.
So we're definitely willing to give people the information and the knowledge on these two particular areas, which most people kind of really don't get into like that. I mean, vocals and keyboard are something that majority you don't see, especially if you want to incorporate it into your digital space
Right.
with your production. So you know, we have two excellent gentlemen that specialize in both of these areas. Vocalist, Mr. L. Hunter, and keyboardist, Mr. Smooth. So we're gonna have something set up. If anybody wants to learn the lessons, we're gonna set up a Facebook page and a Twitter account. And if you really want to demand, if you want to get this information and this knowledge and this training, we're gonna have an email set up for it too. So we're gonna do a lot of things with a lot of different people. And hopefully you enjoy it. And we're going to bring it as fast as you can. So you respond fast to us, we'll try to get the information out fast to you. You know, so at the time, we're working it up. So, you know, we're going to do our free thing. We're going to give something back, you know, because we're not all about just trying to take people money. But, you know,
you gotta pay it
we got to pay our bills too. But we'll, like I said, the advanced classes, we'll have a reasonable fee for them. PayPal, any way you can do it. And we'll keep bringing you What's the Deal Ron show.
That's right.
And he's not here today, but
Come back to the show.
He's on the line.
He's on location.
Yeah.
Right. And we pretty much gonna give it a wrap. And we enjoy y'all, you know, taking some time, 30 minutes out of your time to come chill with us.
Definitely.
And always remember, like, subscribe, share, and view.
Definitely.
We need the support.
Definitely. And soon we'll be taking calls and everything. And you guys could Twitter us, Facebook us, you know, and to give us some input on your views on what you think about the show.
Right. Also, if you're interested in having your music underneath a video, submit your song and we'll pick the best ones.
Absolutely.
You know, so we'll do some promotion for you too on our side, you know, in these interviews or in the introduction. So this is one of many shows to come.
Absolutely.
So we thank y'all for tuning in to Ron, What's the Deal? You know,
presented by, be talking a little bit more, you know, I wasn't there.
Presented by Spacewalker Studios.
Yes, yes.
I'd like to thank Mr. Hunter.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank Mr. Smooth.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come back and see us. Enjoying the party.
Definitely. Good.
That's the deal.
Thank you for having us.
Peace.